90% of diets fail. And today we're talking about one of the biggest reasons these diets fail. But it's not because you're following the wrong diet. You don't need the right diet. What you need is a foundation for staying consistent. The biggest reason you can't stay consistent on a diet is because of unsustainability. And that happens when you cut out things like ice cream, cheese, and pizza. So there are many things that makes a diet unsustainable, but the biggest thing by far is restrictive diets. When people go on diets, they usually tend to cut out their favorite foods or whatever they like to eat. And for some reason, they think that they cannot eat whatever they want. But the problem is restrictive diets are like a prison. So let's take the prison analogy and let's say you steal a Gatorade and you get thrown in prison. Prison sucks, okay? And the reason it sucks is because it's so restrictive. You have to wake up at this time. You have to do this work at this time. You can't leave this area at this time. I think that's how prison works. I don't have the exact details. But it's very restrictive, right? Prison sucks and you can't wait to leave. Pretty much the same thing with a diet. If your diet is super restrictive and you don't like to eat the things that is in your diet, then obviously you're going to want to leave as soon as possible. You're going to want to stop it as soon as possible. And that's what makes you break. Prison is miserable because it's so restrictive. And so is a diet if you're not eating your favorite foods. If you want to stick to the diet, you're going to want to eat what you like in moderation. So for me to explain this, I need to explain calories, okay? And I'm sure you've heard this a million times. Your body has a certain amount of calories that it uses to function, okay? And those calories are made up of carbs, fats, and proteins. And coincidentally, the foods you eat are also made up of carbs, fats, and proteins. So let's say, for example, you need 2,000 calories per day. If you want to lose weight, you're going to want to eat 500 calories less per day in order to lose 1 pound per week. And the reason that is because 1 pound of fat is equal to about 3,500 calories. And 500 calories times 7 is 3,500 calories. So if you eat 500 calories less per day, that means you're eating about 1,500 calories per day. And pretty much those 1,500 calories can be made up of carbs, fats, or proteins. It can be made up of one of those macronutrients or all three of those macronutrients. And speaking of calories in macronutrients, 1 gram of protein has 4 calories, 1 gram of carb also has 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat has 9 calories, which is more than double fats or carbs. And let's say you like pizza. One slice of pizza usually has about 350 calories. If you eat a slice of pizza while you're trying to lose 1 pound per week, you'll still have about 1,115 calories left for your day in order for you to continue losing weight. And then you can have 1,150 calories of healthy foods throughout the rest of the day, and you still got to have a slice of pizza while you're still losing 1 pound per week. So obviously the key here is moderation. Because if you ate 3 slices of pizza, that would come out to about 1,050 calories, and you would only have 450 calories left for the day. And let's say you also like ice cream. The next day you can have half a scoop of ice cream instead of a full scoop of ice cream, and you're still getting to eat what you like. This makes the diet less depressing and much less restricting, which makes you not want to stop it as hard. And if you like it, you're obviously going to stick to it. So going back to the prison analogy, let's say you stole a Gatorade, so they threw you in a very nice prison where they give you very delicious meals, gourmet-made meals. You got to go outside to the park. You have access to nature. You have a nice cozy bed. You have entertainment in your room. It's pretty much, and also you have free healthcare. So you're pretty set in there, right? And you're enjoying your time there. You might actually like it and not want to leave. Right? Same thing here. You want to make it so that your diet does not feel like a terrible prison and instead make it feel more homey. That way you don't want to leave it. It's supposed to be a lifestyle change, not a temporary fix. And let's say you want to eat more than 1 slice of pizza or more than 1 scoop of ice cream. Well, you can turn your favorite foods into macro-friendly meals. And this is pretty much the fitness term for a lower calorie, healthier version of the food. And you can find macro-friendly versions of these foods anywhere. Quest makes macro-friendly pizza. Halo Top or Favorite Day has macro-friendly ice cream. I remember when I was on my weight loss phase, I would eat about 1 pint of Favorite Day chocolate peanut butter ice cream. It was so good and it made me stick to my weight loss a lot easier. But how do these companies and people make healthier versions of these junk foods? It's pretty simple. Macro-friendly foods usually have more protein, which is great because it's very filling. It's more filling than carbs and fats. They also have less fats. Like I mentioned earlier, fats have more than double the calories of carbs or fats. So if you have less fats in the meal, that brings down the calories from the meal dramatically. It also contains more water and fiber, which adds volume without adding too many calories, which helps keep you fuller. And these macro-friendly meals usually taste identical to the real thing for a fraction of the calories. Some people might say, oh, but it tastes identical, it doesn't taste exactly like the real thing. Bro, I'd rather eat slightly less tasty and have abs, and if you try it, you probably will too. Also, you can make macro-friendly versions of the foods at home. Just lower the carb and or fat content and the food will become macro-friendly. For example, you like smash burgers. The regular smash burger will have 80-20 beef, full-fat American cheese, full-fat mayo, regular ketchup, a regular bun, lettuce, tomato. You know, the usual. To make a macro-friendly version, you would use 96% lean, 4% fat ground beef, fat-free American cheese, low-fat mayonnaise, low-sugar ketchup. And if you're trying to really lower the calories, you can also use low-carb burger buns, but you can also opt for regular burger buns. And obviously, lettuce and tomato stay the same because they don't contribute much calories to the burger anyway. Those small changes add up big time. It tastes great, but also it's lower in calories. You can do this with many other meals. For example, let's say a dish needs chicken thighs or fatty beef. You can use chicken breast instead of chicken thighs and 93 to 96% lean beef instead of the fatty beef. Regular recipes might require lots of cooking oil. To make it macro-friendly, you can use a nonstick pan or you can use a cooking spray with less oil. There's also a lot of thick oil-based sauces. To make it macro-friendly, just lower the fat content and you can use broth, soy sauce, vinegar, cornstarch if you want to make it a little thicker, or Greek yogurt, and there's so many other things you can use. Also, seasonings are your secret weapons. Please, please, please use seasonings because seasonings contribute very few calories while adding a huge amount of flavor. Seasonings are one of the biggest things that carries your macro-friendly recipes because the lowered fat content and carb content can sometimes come through in taste, but if you season it well, then the taste won't come through as well and it will taste almost identical to the real thing. You can also make low-calorie sauces to go with your macro-friendly meals to elevate the taste. You can find low-calorie versions of your favorite sauces online. My favorite are Chipotle Mayo and Avocado Ranch, and I just look up the low-calorie version and they're on YouTube and you can find it here. Key thing to keep in mind is they basically do the same thing in the recipes to make the low-calorie sauce low-calorie is they cut down the fat content and sometimes the sugar content or the carb content. Lastly, but absolutely not in the least, hunger can catch up to you when you're on a diet. It's no surprise when you start losing weight or trying to cut down pounds, you're going to start getting hungry throughout the day. To combat this, you want to eat high-volume, low-calorie meals. These foods take up a lot of space in your stomach, so obviously you're going to be full, and they don't contribute that many calories. Macro-friendly meals are already very filling and low-calorie, so we got that out of the way. You can also have fruits. These things are very low-calorie and very filling because they have a lot of water content. And not to mention, fruits taste amazing, so just incorporate it into your diet, and you'll be full and you're going to enjoy it as well. Veggies are the king of high volume, low calorie foods, but sometimes they don't taste good. I don't like to eat broccoli myself, and I totally understand if you don't too. What you can do is add seasonings to it to elevate the flavor. You can absolutely add seasonings to it, fry it up, make stir fry out of it, and that will make some volume to your rice maybe if you add stir fry. So just experiment with it and add a lot of seasonings and some low calorie sauces. And you'll notice that you're eating very low calories from your veggies and it's actually you're enjoying it and it'll keep you full. There's also high volume carbs that keep you full. Potatoes are an iconic one, especially if they're baked or boiled. Sweet potatoes are great. Oatmeals are great, and air pop popcorns are also great. And I already mentioned lean proteins are more satiating than carbs and half the calories as fats, and they're also more satiating than fats as well. And here's a list of low-calorie, high-volume foods for you that will keep you full. I'm going to read it off from my list here. We have chicken breast, potatoes, fat-free Greek yogurt, strawberries, watermelon, broccoli, cauliflower, mushrooms, cucumber, zucchini, air pop popcorn, egg whites, shrimp, cabbage, soup. Soups are underdog. Soups are an underdog when it comes to high volume because, there's a lot of liquid in there and that keeps you full. And you can also add veggies to it and it tastes really, 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 really good. So try and look into making low-calorie soups or high-protein soups. Macro-friendly pho could be an option. And lastly, an honorary mention, zero-calorie drinks. Provided the drink does not have any caffeine in it, you can drink it as late as up to bedtime and you can sip on it throughout the day and it'll curb your sweet tooth. Not to mention, it'll also make you full because, it's basically water that's flavored and that will add volume to your belly, which makes you full. So that's it. That's how you make your diet more fun and not depressing. And like I said, if it's not depressing, if it's not restrictive, then you're not going to want to escape the prison of this restrictive diet that you've been potentially doing. By the way, if you're struggling to lose weight, no matter what diet you try, there's a link in the description that you can click to book a free call with me. It's a call where I explain how I can help you solve that problem. You don't have to click it or anything, but it is there if you want to book a call with me and see what's the issue. If you like the video, give it a like. If you have a question on what I talked about, you can drop it in the comments. If you want me to make a video for you that maybe you're struggling with something when it comes to weight loss, drop it in the comments and I'll make a video for you. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Until next time, I'm out.